Sangiovese today. We're going to try in an hour and a half to run through from the east coast of Italy to the west coast of Italy, Sangiovese. That's not an easy task. Sangiovese. So let's talk a little bit about Sangiovese.
Sangiovese, I don't know, there are times where it just has such a span. I mean, sometimes it can be not a very interesting wine. It can be an everyday wine, maybe a wine to not analyze too much and just drink. And other times it can be a very complex wine. And I think over time, the vehicle to great wines was blending a little bit, perhaps with Cabernet, Merlot. The purity of Sangiovese got kind of lost through the Super Tuscan process.
It's been exciting to see the pendulum swing back over the past decade in the market away from Super Tuscans.
I think for us traditionalists who like the pure Sangioveses, you're hitting levels of complexity that are mind-boggling.
Now you're seeing a complete rebirth in Chianti, an emphasis on high quality and freshness, brightness, lightness, acidity, and food friendliness, which, you know, lest we forget, is the most important things at the table.
It is the most widely planted grape varietal in Italy. It is really on the pedestal of one of the greatest wines, along with Barolo, Barbaresco, Bordeaux, Burgundy, Northern Rhones, Napa Cab. It is very much at this point established itself as one of the most noble grapes of the world.
We will be concentrating on three areas today. The Marche, which is on the east coast of Italy, on the Adriatic Sea. Tuscany, of course, you can't speak about Sangiovese without going to Tuscany. And then we will talk about Romagna, where Sangiovese originated. We'll start with the Marche. And I'd like to turn the word over to Stefano Biscotto, who actually has a winery he works with in the Marche.
I have a producer who makes a pure Sangiovese. It's actually essentially 100% Sangiovese, and the aromatics are just beautiful. You're right on the Adriatic coast, and just the accessibility, the drinkability. The cherries are riper. They tend to be riper. The texture can kind of be silky and velvety of the Sangiovese from this area, a little bit more towards the floral components.
Notice that saltiness. That's what you get from Sangiovese from the Marche area. That's the influence of the sea. That's your influence from the Adriatic Sea, yes.
It's a wonderful area for Sangiovese, but also for Montepulciano. It's not too far from Offida. They are a little bit more to the south of Le Marche. Offida is just a little bit more inland, but also closer to Abruzzo. So they make oaks excellent Montepulciano. So.
Sangiovese actually has a lot in common with Nebbiolo. They are the two most noble grapes of Italy. Now, one point of view where they are extremely similar is how picky they are about their terroir. Now, Sangiovese and Nebbiolo give phenomenal wines where they come from. It is very difficult that Sangiovese will give phenomenal wines outside its home land of central Italy only. Sangiovese excels in central Italy only because it's a grape that is so picky. If you move it from one side of the river to the other, completely changes. Amazing wines on one side, terrible wines on the other. It is like that. Sangiovese grows in the central part of Italy for one simple reason. It is dependent on cool nights and warm days. So Sangiovese is concentrated in that central part of Italy exactly because of that balance. And Italy's beautiful for that. You go from the Alps in the north, freezing cold, all the way down to Sicily in the south, very, very hot. You're almost in North Africa, both culturally and climate speaking. And it's fantastic how the climate just gradually gets warmer, and it finds its perfect balance in the center of Italy, and that's where you have your Sangiovese.
Sangiovese needs food. It's not a cocktail wine by any means. It really needs, that's the beauty when you go to Italy, even if you're just having a glass of wine at a wine bar, there's always gonna be like a little thing of potato chips or some olives or something on the bar, because you don't drink wine without nibbling on something. As an industry, we need to definitely convey that fact to the end consumer, that this is not just a sipping wine, but if you really want it to shine, if you really want it to show its merits, it really needs to grace a table as part of a meal, as opposed to just a sipping wine.